Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. We are from group 6. In this group, we have 4 members. Alright, now let's move on to the topic. So, Gantar dance originates from East Kalimantan, precisely as a social dance between young people from the Dayak Benuaq and Tunjung tribes in West Kutai Regency. This dance symbolizes the joy and friendliness of the Dayak tribe in welcoming guests. Whether as tourists, investors, or respected guests. The guests who come are invited to join the dance with the dancers.
So guys, the next one is we would like to talking about the origins. Then here we will mention a dance originating from the East Kalimantan region, namely the Gantar dance. Gantar dance was formerly only danced during traditional ceremonies, but however, there are many versions that tells the origin of this dance. So here we have some of the Gantar dance version. The first version is rice planting ceremony. This dance was formerly performed at the Dayak traditional rice planting ceremony. A long stick used in dancing serves to make holes in the ground. Meanwhile, the short bamboo is used to sow the seeds in the hole. In this dance, the dancer also stomps their feet. This illustrates how to close the hole that has been sown earlier. The dancer dance really heavily, in the hope that the harvest will be abundant. In the second version is to welcoming heroes from war. Gantar dance is a sacred dance that can only be danced when the heroes return from the battlefield. This dance is to welcome their arrival and is danced by teenage girls from Dayak Benuaq tribe. The property of the long stick is a chopstick and is decorated with the head or skull of the enemy or hanging who has been killed by the heroes. Meanwhile, the small bamboo is a display to balance the dance movements. So guys, that's all about the origins from this dance. Now we will continue to the next slide. Let's check it out!
In performing Gantar dance from Dayak Benuaq, we have to use traditional clothes and other accessories as well. We use labung, the name for the headdress, colorful accessories, senak and kusak, and also the traditional clothes made from woven cloth. The first Gantar dance property used by Gantar dancer is the labung, which is the name for the headdress. The shape of the whole itself is like a headband wrapped around the dancer's head like a crown. The second one is the colorful accessories. It has become a hallmark of the Dayak tribe in general. The Gantar dancer will also wear colorful accessories. Usually it will be used as a breastplate, bracelet, and necklace by dancer. The dominant color used are red, blue, and yellow, which made from beads, small strung stones, or from the fruit that the people in Dayak usually call as caka fruit. The third one is senak and kusak. The senak property is the form of a long stick, which is a parable of a chopstick weapon and held in left hand. Meanwhile, kusak is a short piece of bamboo, which is filled with various kind of seeds, held in right hand. And then take a look in these traditional clothes which have full red color, and the costume used were made from woven cloth from the Dayak Benuaq tribe, which was proceed from Dayak fiber. In performing Gantar dance, we have to play traditional musical instrument. In Tari Gantar, we use gendang, kelentangan, gening, or gong. This is gendang. About gendang or group of drum, like musical instruments that are played by hitting and made of wood and leather. This is kalantangan or gamelan. So this kalantangan was originally made of selected pieces of wood and made loud sound when struck. However, after the Bronze Age, this kalantangan was then made of copper, but with the same sound and tone, and there are 8 pieces of kalantangan. Then the last musical instrument is gong, or we call gening, group of musical instruments such as gong that are played by hitting and made of metal such as iron and copper.
And now, we come to a part that is no less important than the other part in this video. That is the meaning of movement in dance. Gantar dance movement have meaning in each of its movement. In general, the Gantar dance movement is defined as young people planting rice. But apart from that, Gantar dance movement are also often used in welcoming guests. Basically, the Gantar dance movement is dominated by hand and foot movement. So, to find out more about the meaning of movement in this dance, let's watch the following video. The first gesture is reverence or respect. We can see in the video, the movement is to bend the body forward carefully. This movement has a meaning, namely our respect for guests who come, or as a form of respect for heroes who return from war. The second is hand gesture holding the senak, that is the long stick, and kusak or the small stick. The senak will be carried by a dancer using the left hand, and the senak will be positioned straight down and lift the senak 1 inch above the ground, then pound it again to the ground. So the long stick or senak symbolize the wood used in growing rice as a tool to make holes in the ground. Meanwhile, kusak will be carried by a dancer using the right hand. One move up and down according to the accompaniment of the music. So kusak here describes a bamboo stuffed with seed, or we can also call it like rice seed and their containers. The third movement is foot movement. This movement will be carried out by Gantar dancer by positioning the left and right feet parallel to the fingertip, stacked on the floor or ground. In this position, the dancer heels will be lifted with alternate toes supporting the ground. Therefore, one leg will be pulled back with the weight of the body on the other leg. The movement of the feet in this dance describes the movement or way of closing a hole in the ground that was previously perforated with a stick and filled with a rice seed. And the last one is step board, or in Indonesia we call as langkah papan. The dancer will start the movement of the right foot stepping forward, then followed by the left foot moving beyond on the right foot. Then the right foot will close by being moved backward to form a vertical floor pattern. So based on this information, It can be concluded that what is meant by the stepboard is an invitation to the guest to join the dance with the dancer. The last but not least, here the important part of this video is the performance of a dance from the Dayak Benuaq tribe, namely the Gantar dance. So, have a good time for watching!